this is Dee.
This is Shelby.
And we're from Bxtch, Please. Welcome back to another episode.
Welcome. Is this 8?
This is 8.
Episode 8.
Episode 8.
Woo! We're so excited to be here.
Are we eating?
We is eating.
We ate. I'm just playing.
We fed.
We fed.
We are fed. Today we are fed. Okay. I hope y'all fed too.
I hope y'all fed too. We're going to start off, normally we do like a serious, then we do like a lighthearted one. Mm-hmm. Today we're kind of in a silly, goofy, lighthearted mood. So we're doing another funny, chill
We're just going to do a few seconds. We just want to talk about some shit.
Yeah, just talk about some stuff and some things,
Maybe y'all can relate, maybe you don't. Who knows? Who cares?
We'll see.
Well, we'll be here.
We'll be here. Either way.
All the time.
Either way. Before we get started though, how's your screws?
Today, really good.
Good.
Yes, really good today. I am feeling, I don't know, like you were saying, I feel very silly.
Yeah.
And very, I don't know, just want to be playful.
Yeah.
And
same.
Goofy.
Yeah, same.
And I'm feeling very open and very just ready. You want to know what it was though? I think I've just been PMSing for the last 45 days.
Girl, listen, my body is like, we're good now.
Yeah.
Everybody calm down.
Everything's fine.
Everybody calm down.
Everything's fine.
All the little people running around inside are like, all right.
The whole thing's working. All my screws are together. The mechanics are working. Everybody's doing their job today.
Yeah, they had coffee.
They had coffee.
They got sleep.
They got some good ass sleep.
They got some PTO.
Yes. Yes. You want to know what I think it was though? Because we went out last night to Southern Nights. That's
a reset.
Yes, that was a gay bar. But it is a gay bar that's here in downtown Orlando, and it's like basically the only like big gay bar, at least that I know of, in downtown Orlando. And we just went out last night and we just danced our little hearts out. Did not give a shit about what anybody else was doing or feeling or anything like that. I mean, we just had a good time. We just had a really good time.
We did. I want to go back. And I'm sad that I had never been.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did I never go to freaking Southern Nights?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But you went.
I went and I had a blast.
It's so much fun. It's like 3 bars that are all together and there's just all sorts of different types of music, and it just, it's like the one bar that I can go to and I can actually feel safe in. Like I don't feel like somebody's going to try to grab me or grope me or fuck with me or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, I've had people grope me there before, but it's not anything that's crazy. It just feels very like freeing and just I can just go be.
Yeah. It feels very like at home. It's just like you're just around like-minded people, kind of, because sometimes okay.
I don't like that.
You just have people that are there kind of all just trying to have a good time. It's like nobody's like upset or angry or I'm sure there's times where it gets probably like hype, but if you go downtown to some of the other places, like people go in.
Yes, they do.
On some bullshit.
Yes, they do.
And so I feel like with Southern Nights, it's like, it's cool. It's a cool, chill vibe.
It is.
It was nice.
I had a blast. I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. And then our friend John came with us, and John is very much a homebody, but he was out there living his best life.
Yes, he was.
Shout out to you, baby boy. I love you very much.
Whoop, whoop.
Love your dance moves.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
It was good.
It was good.
Okay, so what about your screws?
Oh, my screws are great. Today, my screws are good. I feel great. I feel good. I'm also in like a little playfully, jokey, laughy mood. I went to work today, and it was, but that didn't tear me down. I have overcome.
Yes.
I have overcome. I have survived. I got to do it again tomorrow, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It was okay. It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad.
It could have been worse.
It could have definitely been worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
But it wasn't bad at all. And honestly, I'm just in a good mood.
Yes.
I'm in a really good mood.
Yes, that was a really good one. I love that.
I'm in a good mood.
I love that.
So, all right. Our first topic.
Yes.
Where are we going first? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
How about we talk about, since it was just so recent,
Yeah.
how about we talk about how we like to hurt our own feelings?
Can we talk about that?
Can we talk about that for a second?
How many of y'all like to hurt your own feelings?
Yeah, please let us know, because I apparently like to do that shit all the time.
I am super guilty of it.
Yeah.
Super guilty of it. Love doing it.
Yes.
I am upset every time, but I just be like, this is so much
Yes,
fun.
100%. So what we mean by hurting our own feelings is putting ourselves in situations where we already know what the answer is going to be, or what's going to happen, or what the other person's going to do, whether that's friendships or relationships or, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever it is. But we just want to hear it. Right? We know in our heads what it already is, but we just want to hear it. We need to see it with our own eyeballs instead of just believing the logic in our head.
And what's present smack dab in our face.
And then we're like, but let's just see.
Let's just see
it.
Let's test the waters. And then we get disappointed. We're like, well.
Yeah. Well, this sucks.
And then we repeat the cycle because
All the time.
we like hurting our own feelings.
All the time. That should be a fucking bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Pop.
Honk if you like to hurt your own feelings. People gonna be there laying on that bitch. Like,
yes, every single time. Every single time. I mean,
sure.
I've done that a million times. Like, just in primarily like in relationships with like, you know, romantic partners and stuff like that. Like, I'll just be like, well, let me just ask them this question. Like, let me just see where this goes. And then boom, they give me the honest answer. And then I'm upset. Like, I'm upset. I'm hurt. Like, I'm crying hysterically. And I'm like, how could they do this to me? And I'm like really upset, right?
Yeah.
But I already knew.
Yeah, I already knew. And
I already knew the answer.
Yeah.
I just needed to hear you say it.
Yeah.
And then I'm upset about it. And it's like, girl,
why do you do that to yourself?
why do you do that to yourself?
Same. I have put myself in so many situations where I'm like, I just want to have my feelings hurt. So I'm going to ask this question knowing that I don't really want the answer, but I kind of want the answer because I need to have that like validation of like, bitch, you was on the right track. But you know you're going to be in your feelings if you get the right answer.
Yeah.
But I still be like, can we just hurt my feelings, please?
Just one more time.
One more time. And I still don't get it.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst. That's the fucking worst when you hear it. Right? You hear the answer, you're hurt, and then your brain starts to analyze it, and then you're like, but wait a minute.
Well,
what if they meant this? And I'm like, hang on a second. Girl, I hate when I do that. Now,
I get so annoyed with myself when I do that.
Yes. I have started to just take people at face value. You say that? Okay, that's what it is.
You have to. Keep it moving. I do have this still, before I lose my mind, I have to go, I just want to make sure. Is this what you mean by what you said? I just want to confirm because this is going to determine how I react.
Absolutely.
If you didn't mean it that way, what were you trying to say? If you did mean it that way, I'm still going to roll with it because I like to have my feelings hurt.
Yes.
So I'm actually getting out of that.
I just like, as you should,
yeah,
though.
I'm getting out of that.
Good for you because I was in that for a while, and I don't know, for the last few months I'm just like, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I just made the conscious decision. I said, I'm not doing that shit anymore. I'm going to ask you the question. The answer is what it's going to be because I still need to know.
Yeah.
I still need to know, but I'm not going in with like, it's almost like you go in with the hope that it's going to be something different, that you're going to be wrong. So in my head, I'm starting to just go in and be like, I already know what the answer is going to be. If it's a surprise, good surprise, and that's not what you were trying to say, cool. But in my head, I'm already prepared for the worst.
That, I think when I say I'm getting out of that, I think that's where I'm at. Where I'm like, I'm going to go with which is not healthy at all. Yeah. But, you know, working through it.
Yes.
So.
As you should, though.
I mean.
As you should, though.
Yeah.
I just feel like men don't do that. I feel like men don't do that. I don't know.
I feel like they might. They just don't talk about it.
Maybe.
As much. I don't know.
Maybe.
The only reason I say that is because I've had situations where I have dealt with somebody, I have expressed where I was at, and they had refused to listen to what I was saying.
Oh,
and then we're
but that's like a one-off thing.
But it's happened a couple of times.
Has it really?
It has.
Well,
it's been like, well, I'm not looking for this. And then they'd be like, okay, great. And then something happens and I'm like, I literally just told you that. And they'd be like, I don't understand. I'm like, wait a second. I told you.
It's in a text. I'll screenshot it and send it to you.
I was like, did you not read the same message that I read? Well, I didn't think that's what you meant. And I was like, how? I said I don't want you.
Listen, I say what I say. It is what it is. I say what I say and I mean what I say. So like that's it. Like but the thing is like I feel like a lot of men, and I could be wrong, I feel like a lot of men are very simple, and it goes into that like that other segment, that other topic we wanted to talk about, like the different communication styles between men and women. But I feel like most men are very simple, and like they say what they're meaning, but for me, my brain is like, well, let's dive deeper into that. What does that mean? Like, I want to know more. Like, but they're very like, I don't know. I don't like the way your jeans look today, right?
Like, did you just call me fat?
Did you just call me fat? Is it just the jeans? Is it me? Do you not like me? I'd be like really in my head about some shit sometimes.
Like the color or the cut or whatever. And you'd be like, oh, sorry.
Maybe
my bad. Sorry.
Okay, so you still like me now.
You hate me, right? Like, no, girl, I'm home married to you. Chill.
Yeah, fags. No, but I actually appreciate when men are like honest about stuff.
Yeah.
And they're very direct. I don't like the whole beating around the bush. Like, if you don't like me, if you don't want to be with me, if you don't like what I'm wearing, men and women, like whoever I'm dating, if you don't like what I'm doing, if you don't like something about me, you can go ahead and say that shit and say it with your chest.
No, that's facts.
Because at the end of the day, it's not going to matter what the fuck you like, whether I love you or not. It matters what I like. It matters what works for me and what makes me feel good, not the other person.
No, I agree. And I actually like that in not just relationships, but also in friendships. Because it's like, I want to have my friends be like, hey, bitch.
Yes.
You really out here wilding. Or you looking real crazy in that. And if I listen to it,
yes.
If I listen to it, cool. If I don't listen to it,
Yes.
Hopefully you support my stupidity.
You know what I mean? You do that shit for me all the time.
Girl, same.
You are such a big cheerleader, though.
Same.
You be like, listen, Deidre's over here like, girl, this is not good for you. And I'm like, but this. And you're like, I support you. Whatever you want to do. But I think it's stupid.
But you do the same for me as well. You'd be like, girl,
yes,
run. And I'd be like, are you sure? Like, run towards it or no? You'd be like, no, the opposite direction. I'm like, towards it.
Run away. You about to get your heart hurt, girl.
Like, are you sure? Like, maybe if I go around.
Yes.
Like, no. Left?
Yeah.
No.
Make a U-turn?
Make a U-turn. I'm going to just go back. I'm going to just go back. It's fine.
I'm going to just circle back real quick.
That's so true. It's fine, girl. Just save it for the ride.
It's okay. Let's just bump some music while we do this.
Got a soundtrack to the chaos.
Yes. Oh my god, we really do. We should make a playlist. Let's make a soundtrack to the chaos playlist.
Yes.
So that we can share with y'all.
Oh, we should make that.
Let's do that.
Okay, we'll make a Spotify one or something like that.
Yes,
because we could do that on Spotify.
Yeah, we can do that.
That'll be nice. So as we're talking about like communication with men and women, how have you noticed like your friendships with men and your friendships with women, or even your relationships, just any type of relationship, how the communication is different?
Way different. So I feel like with women, I feel like either friendships or even in like relationships, women want to, at least in my experience, women want to understand. They want to understand. Most women, I'm just going to say most women, want to, at least for me, like they want to understand. They want to know the emotional aspect of it. They want to know your feelings behind things. They want to know, like most of the time, what can they do better?
Yeah,
that's a lot. Like that's a lot with women. Even as friends, like if I went to, I know for a fact, if I went to you and I said, hey girl, I don't like that you said this to me. I don't like how you said it. You would be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, what did I say? Don't try to make that face, bitch.
Like, girl, get the fuck over it.
Oh!
I'm just playing.
And I'm out. No, but I feel like you would be like, oh well, let me try to understand. You know what I mean? Like, as opposed to like my male friends would be like, what the fuck? Like, get over it. They would be like, that's not what I said. You get out your head, figure it the fuck out, get out your head and figure it the fuck out, and call me back and hit me back up when you're done.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you some time.
I
have friends like that too, and I'll be like, I just need to get this out. They'd be like, okay, but like, can you, where are we going with this? And I'd be like, well, you said this, and it's like, but that's not what I was saying. Yeah, you read into it, and it's like, did I read into it?
Yeah, and they're like, no, that's exactly what it says. Right?
Yeah, I said this, you said this. This is not the same, and I'm like, I see your point. Yeah,
and especially going to them for like relationship advice.
Oh my gosh, relationship advice from men is so hilarious.
Straight men.
Actually. Yeah.
Straight men is different than gay men. Gay men are very brutal with that shit.
Yeah, they are.
I love talking to my gay bestie boys.
Oh my gosh. But it's just, I was thinking about a time when I was like venting to one of my homeboys, and I had this whole long thing, and he kept cutting me off. He was like, okay, so what are you trying to fix? Like, what do you need to do? And I'm like, well, listen to the rest of the story. He's like, I don't need all that. Like,
cut it up.
Right.
Spark notes.
You went here. You're here. They said this. You said that. You feel like this. You feel like that. You need to do this. Yeah. End of story. Period. I don't need all the other stuff about why and how you felt and what you were wearing and what type your nails were and what your hair looked like. Yeah. They'd be like, I don't care about that.
And what side eye they gave you and what their facial expressions looked like.
Right. I was like, and they mean mug me, and they'd be like, did they though?
But did they though? Like, or is that in your head?
Yeah. It's so funny. Like, girl, give me point A to point B. Don't give me point A, C, X, Y. Yeah. They'd be like, straight, please.
They'd be like, just from here to here to here. I don't need to hear the rest of it.
Yeah.
They really do. They are. I also feel like straight men want to solve the problem.
Yeah.
They don't, they're like, oh, you have a problem, let me fix it. Like immediately. They even in like relationships, like romantic relationships, they're like, I want to fix it. How do I fix it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't want you to fix it. I want you to understand.
Or sometimes I just want to vent.
Yeah, that too.
I just want to get this off my chest. I don't need no solutions.
Nope.
Just let me talk.
Let me just talk.
I'm coming to you for a perspective that I don't have.
Yeah.
I just want to hear where if it's sounding right to me.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, no, girl, you're tripping. And I'd
Yeah.
be like, damn, for real?
Am I really though?
Like, I thought I was making sense.
Yeah. No. I'm sorry. I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
No, it's okay. We're good. I'm just gonna situate myself.
Okay,
my back is hurt. I'm old.
Yeah, my back
I'm old. My back hurts.
Okay, so like we mentioned at the beginning, we went out last night. My knees.
My knees were Rice Krispie treats.
My back. My knees, my
pussy
back,
and my crack though.
my hip,
the whole thing.
my elbow, my big toe.
Everything was hurting.
Everything hurt.
Oh my god! And I only danced for like maybe an hour.
And we weren't in heels. We were in regular boots,
shoes.
little combat boots,
Yes.
chilling.
Yes.
And when I tell you sore, not sore, but just like
No. My knee gave out. Sorry, we're gonna jump to a different topic really quick because this is funny. My knee gave out in the middle of dancing. I was literally moving and grooving. Your girl was shaking that ass, and my knee just went out to the side, and I did a hop, skip, and a jump so that I could just keep on going into the dance move. When I tell you, my knee was swollen this morning.
Was it?
Oh my god, it hurt so bad. I had to elevate it.
Oh,
I had to elevate it. It hurt so bad. I took a bunch of ibuprofen, put some ice on it, called it a day. That was an hour of dancing. That's it.
This is welcome to going out in your 30s when you're normally at home.
Yes. It
Welcome.
hurts. And I know I got down. I know I did a little
Girl, you was getting low. I was like, look at her.
I did a little drop.
I said she gonna feel
that.
that.
Shit hurt.
She gonna feel that in the morning. And you did.
That shit hurt coming out.
Girl, my knee hurts right as we speak.
My back hurts. Everything hurts.
I was like, damn, I need
Everything
a stretch.
hurts.
Like,
We look like we're in our 20s, but our bodies are not.
listen, my body said, bitch, don't forget.
Don't forget where you are and who you are. You cannot be trying to do these splits and dropping it on the floor.
Them days are
over.
Oh, but I'm gonna get it back.
Oh,
I'm gonna get it back.
Yes,
I'm gonna get it back. I'm working on this flexibility bit.
Yes, I'm
gonna get it back.
Okay. Yeah. So, anyways,
Okay.
Sorry, we always jump back. Y'all know
Yeah.
us. But yeah, no, I feel like just the communication styles are different.
No, it's super different. And I notice with my female friends, we can talk about like certain things in depth. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can have those same conversations with my male friends as well, but it's just the conversations are just different. The explanation of certain situations are different. The stories are very different.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like, yeah, me and my homeboy, we went out and we got some drinks, met some bitches, and we sat down and chilled, and that was like the end of the night.
Yeah.
Me and my homeboys would be like, yeah, girl, so I wore this outfit and
my hair was done this way.
Yeah, I saw
on
so
this
and so,
side.
and it's just not the same. And I think it's
not.
I think that's why I love having male friendships because they're so different, and it's like their perspective is a lot different.
Absolutely,
and it's just such a funny and interesting dynamic to have with folks. It really is.
I love that, but I'm also really excited to see that at least some men that I've like kind of known for a long time, or even some that I've like recently met or whatever. A lot of them are trying to be more emotionally intelligent, and to be more conscious of their own feelings. So it's like, I feel like I used to ask a guy like, "How's your day going?" They'd be like, "Good."
It was cool.
Period. Period. Cool. But now, like, I'm starting to see more men be like, "I've had a stressful day. Like, here's what happened," and just actually wanting to open up and talk about things. And I appreciate that.
No, absolutely, because I don't feel like, obviously, personal opinion. I just don't feel like they either know how to express that very often or have anybody that actually cares to listen. Yeah. And I think that's like the problem is sometimes they don't have people that care to listen. And so it's just like, what's the point of me saying anything in the first place?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, please talk to me. I want to know what's going on if you're good.
Exactly. Or they feel like it's a weak move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it is not weak to talk about your feelings. It is not weak to actually be emotionally intelligent and open up and like be like, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm feeling. This is what's going on with me. Like, you know what? We want to hear it. And to see them do it with their boys. Mm-hmm. I think that's fucking dope too.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking dope too. Because I'd be like, look at y'all.
I know, look at y'all all like just coming together.
Coming together and really talking about your shit.
Yeah, I love that.
You don't have to hold that burden on your own.
Yeah. I agree.
You know, I feel like us women, we really do be gabbing.
We do. And we'll just be like, can you handle my shit today, bitch? And you'd be like, yeah, I can. I'd be like, girl, I just need to dump all of this real quick because it is working my last nerve. And you'd be like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
Or you'd be like, no, today's not the day.
Yes.
I do not have it.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
But I also think, I feel like us women, like, I be going into detail with you on shit.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I did this with, you know, this dude like this, and my leg was up here to the side. And shit was great. And then we turned around and we talked about, you know, I don't know, coffee beans or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be going into detail.
Yeah, I'd be like, wait, where would we go?
Yeah, I'd be going into detail.
No, that's very true. I know a lot about my lady friends.
Yes.
Inside and out.
Yes.
Like,
yes, it's the inside and out part.
the inside and out.
We really do. We really do. We know each other very well. Very well. But it's crazy because, like, I know the same with my gay boys.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I love my gay boys because they are the best of both worlds. Because I can hear about their whole craziness and they'll give me all details and they'll go into being like, I was wearing this and this is what they had on and this was their facial expression. But then they're also like, bitch, get over your bullshit.
Facts.
They will be real quick to be like, get the fuck over your bullshit and get out of your head. Like, why are you overthinking this shit? And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
I have had one of my homies, he flat out was like, girl, you're absolutely wrong in this.
Oh, I love that.
I was like, damn, bitch. Okay.
I love that.
All right. I'll take that today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna take it tomorrow though. Mm-hmm. That mess is crazy.
That's wild.
Super crazy. So
that's wild though.
It is.
But no, I wanted to ask you too. What's different, since we're kind of talking about like difference in like relationships and stuff like that? Like in the relationship with yourself, like what is different between like what you thought you wanted and needed back when you were younger to what you think and want you need? Did I say that right? Now.
I get where you're going.
You know what I'm saying?
So I know when I was younger, the things that I wanted and needed were very, like, basic.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, I just want to eat. I want to go out. I want to make sure I got a cute ass outfit. Yeah. And that's it. I don't want to talk about shit. I don't want, because especially when I was younger, me expressing myself and like wanting to explain shit to folks and really like I didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
It was like it's something that I had to develop over time.
Yeah.
And so that was like the stuff that I needed was not the same because I just wasn't thinking at that level. I just wasn't.
Yeah.
And so I noticed that as I've gotten older, like the need to have communication in a way that is like, hey, I just want to know like where you're at. Like, how are you feeling about this? How are you feeling about that? Now the days of just going out and kicking it are not really necessarily what I want to do or necessarily need to be doing, to be honest, you know?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Some of the other things I think about is just like, you know, even with relationships, it was kind of like I just want somebody that like is fun to hang out with. Yeah. And it's like, now I need to know that I have somebody that's going to hold me down. Like if I get sick or if like, especially with, I got health shit that's been controlled, but like, I need to know that if I have a surgery or if something goes down, they're not going to be dipping out on me because it's too much to manage. You know what I mean? Because that has happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just like the things that I valued at the time or thought that were important, they're just not the same because life has changed. Things have happened. Yeah. And I've gotten older and I'm realizing like, yeah, this person might be cute and fun to kick it with or whatever, but like, they're not reliable for shit. No. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. So I hear you.
How about you?
I hear you. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty much the same. Like when I was younger, all I cared about was partying, what I looked like, what my hair looked like. I want to make sure my skin was clear. Like that was it. Like let me make sure that my makeup's cute, even though my makeup did not match in any way, shape, or form. Girl, makeup that foundation was
makeup trials.
There was no contouring back then. Okay, so my makeup was 2 different colors. It was all over the place. I did not have any concealer. I winged it. I put a little wing, and it wasn't even a good wing. And anyways, but I basically went out.
Women communication.
Facts. This is what I'm saying. I basically would just want to go out, and that was it. And all I needed at the time, for myself or for, if I was in a relationship or whatever, was just somebody who was willing to go out and have fun and party and do that. Yeah. That was it. That's really all I wanted in my early 20s. And it wasn't until I got into, my 30s. Well, that's not true. I want to say like even through my marriage, I started to learn like that I want different things, and I needed different things, and I wanted security, and I wanted like somebody who was actually going to be there and support me and love me and do all of these things. And it wasn't until recently, probably within the last year, that I really doubled down on what the fuck I want and what the fuck I need. Just in life in general. Like I want to be a boss ass bitch. And I mean that in a financial way. I mean that in my life and like what I'm doing and taking care of my mental health and like all of these things that I want and that I feel like I need for myself. They're no longer superficial. They're more deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're more like really, really soul filling.
No, I get
you know
that.
What I mean?
I get that completely, because I think about how younger me was like, I just want to make sure everybody's cool. I want to make sure everybody's happy.
Yep.
And now it's like, I just need to make sure I have my own peace.
Exactly.
Because if not, it's gonna be a problem. Also, I need if it's not, I can't give you nothing. I can't give you nothing, but I also don't want you in my life.
Yes.
And if it's gonna be like a bunch of drama, or if it's gonna be a bunch of shit every time I see you, or like if I have to worry about you, you know, I had an old friend that used to just kind of ream me all the time about like how I looked and how I weighed and how much I weighed and all that. And I was just like, girl, I don't have the energy for that.
I don't have when I was in my early 20s, I'd be like, who the fuck do you think you are?
I'm trying to think if I was in my 20s then. I don't know if I was in my 20s, but even then I was like, yeah, no, girl, this is disrupting how I am and how I'm trying to live, and I can't have that.
Good for you. Good for you. Because a lot of people I know, because I'm such a people pleaser, I'd be like, and I don't, for a long time, I didn't know how to set boundaries, so I wouldn't do that. Like, I wouldn't correct people, or I wouldn't be like, hey, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, what to say to this. I would just kind of stay quiet. I'm a fighter. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll fucking fight you, but I'm also like, I don't know how to...
We don't gotta talk, but we can talk with these hands.
We can talk with these hands, bro. On site, bitch. No, but also, it's more like I've learned how to pause and be like, all right, this is a boundary that I need to set. And the thing is like setting that boundary is not for the other person. It's for me. Yeah. So like if that person crosses my boundary, it's not up to them to like stay back behind that boundary. It's up to me to be like, all right, you crossed the boundary. I'm done. We're done. Like, let's move on from this. Right. You know?
Right. No, I understand, and I agree completely, because it's really hard though to set boundaries in certain situations.
Yes. It is.
It's really hard, whether it's family members, whether it's friends, whether it's like a relationship. Like it's really hard to keep those boundaries intact, because you may set them, but it's hard to be like, I'm sticking to these guns, and then like something happens, you're like, well maybe bad? It's not really like that bad. Like maybe I'll set it next week. You know, it's extremely hard, and so it's pretty much trying to stick to those things that you are putting in place is what I'm working on. Currently. It's just to be like, no, let me stand on this.
Well, like the way I think about boundaries is like, they're mine. I can move them wherever the fuck I want to move them. Depending upon how I'm feeling that day, I can move them wherever I want to move them. My previous situationship, I used to set boundaries up. Now, granted, he loved to cross my boundaries. Did not know what a boundary was. Did not give a shit about what a boundary was. If I said, no, I'm not comfortable, it would be a guilt trip. It would be all this other bullshit, which is like a whole other conversation that we can have another day. So my situationship with pushing those boundaries, he would be like, oh, you just like to die on those hills. You just like to die on those hills. And I'm like, I'm not trying to die on no hill, but I do want to keep my boundary. This is me trying to keep my boundary, and I'm fighting you to try to keep my boundary. What I realized is like, it's not about convincing the other person to stay behind that boundary. It's about me enforcing that boundary, and if they can't stick behind it, then I need to walk. I need to go.
That's hard.
And it's not about dying on a fucking hill. It's about, no, this is what I'm not comfortable with, and I'm telling you, I'm not comfortable with it.
Which says a lot about, like, it's like, damn, I gotta let you go, because you don't respect me. You don't respect me, and it's like, you don't respect me.
And I've had friends do that. I've had family members do that, and you know where they are? Not in my life. Took me a while, but they're not in my life anymore.
I have been fortunate enough to, especially with family members, to be like, this is the boundary. You gonna stick to it, or you not? And they will work on it as best they can, or they'll figure out a way to. That has actually been really good, is keeping those boundaries with family members, just because it's like, you don't want to you don't want to taint the relationship. You don't want to cause, you know, those issues. So having people that do actually be like, okay, cool. Yeah. I'll do my best to try. Yeah. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah. Like, I can do that.
No, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, because you do have people that are like, fuck your boundaries.
Oh, 100%.
And you'd be like, damn, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and my ex-husband did that shit too all the time. I think I just grew up in that so much. Now we getting deep. Excuse me. I think I just grew up with that so much, like people pushing my boundaries and not actually listening to what I have to say, that for a long time I just allowed it to happen. And I would just think that, oh, well, it's just me, I'm just being dramatic. And I've come to realize, like, no, like, this is my boundary. I'm not comfortable with it, and that's it. I don't want to do it. No. Yeah. And, like, you know, I'm okay with moving, and it could just be for that day. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll change my mind the next day if it's something that I think is not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? But I'm allowed to do that. Yeah. It's my fucking life.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's my life, and I would never. I just got to live. I don't know the lyrics to that song though. I did my best. Yeah, that's all.
I did my best.
Sorry, it just triggered the song.
You know.
I do that.
You gotta break out in a dancing song sometimes. We do that shit all the time. We do that shit all the time.
Sometimes you gotta do it.
But yeah, so.
Can we just talk about the fact that we had to pause real quick, y'all? We needed some pillows. Our backs was hurting.
My back was
we were sitting here trying to float and hover, and it was just not happening.
It was just not happening. Oh my God.
Oh, I feel at peace. I feel so at peace.
You know what? I think because I lost my train of thought at some point while we were recording, and I think the reason why is because I just had so much pain shooting up my back with my old ass back. Yes, I'm leaning back. I'm living life.
I feel so comfortable.
I feel so much better. I have me a little sip of water real quick.
This is nice.
This is so good. Okay.
What is one of the funniest things anybody's ever told you about yourself that you just were like, that is hilarious?
Girl, I don't know.
You don't know? I had this guy I used to date, and he told me that I sounded like I was sleepy or like out of breath when I talk. He's like, you always just sound so over it when you talk. And I was like, do I?
No, you don't.
And he's like, you just sound like, he's like, you'll say stuff and you always just kind of sound like, like, like it's just, like it's a bother to say words.
Continue saying words. Honestly though,
it do be like that. I be exhausted. I don't want to talk.
You ever get that, like, where you're in the middle of a conversation and then halfway through you're like, I really don't care about this fucking story or even explaining the story anymore, and then you cut the whole shit short. You're like, and this, and then you think about it and you're like, yeah, okay, and then it ended like this. Like, there's no detail. They'll be like, well, wait a second. It was a whole thing, and I'm like, I don't care.
It happened today where I was talking to, I forgot who I was talking to, but we were talking about something, and the conversation was going, and I just stopped talking and I walked away.
That's real dramatic.
I was like, I'm done.
Bye. That's real dramatic.
I was over it, but that was probably one of the funnier things that I was told. I remember somebody telling me I look like an anime character, which was funny.
Oh no! Somebody told me that I look like my face looks like a moon.
Like a moon?
Yeah, like I have a moon face because I have such a round face. I was like, are you calling me fat? Back to that fucking female communication. Are you calling me fat? Literally. Why you say my face is so round? Right. I mean, I do. I have big cheeks. I got a round face. There ain't nothing I can do about it. It's always been like that. And the more I gain weight, the rounder this bitch gets.
Well, it's a cute face.
It is a cute face. Somebody said I look like I have a moon face. I didn't know what that meant, but I was insulted.
I mean,
I was insulted.
Fair.
Rude.
That is fair. That is fair. So we're not going to go into like a whole bunch of discussion about it because I do have another podcast that I do where we do book reviews and fanfic reviews.
Shout out your podcast.
Shout out to What You Readin' with Lisa and myself. We started out with Do You Read BTS, in which we just read BTS fanfics, and now we're doing like other books as well as fanfics as well. So, but while we're on the topic of books, what do you notice about the books that you read younger that you read now, like as far as the genre of book?
So I was actually huge into VC Andrews.
Really?
I read Almost all of her books.
Okay.
Loved all of her books when I was in probably middle school and high school.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot of historical fiction.
Okay.
I read a lot of true crime. I read a lot of horror.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot of stuff that gave me fucking anxiety. I read a lot of shit that gave me anxiety and made me think too much at very young age.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I loved reading. And then probably... I was that kid that was like walking around the hallways at school just like this with like my face in a book. Nobody could talk to me and like my face in a book. And I would do that.
Cute.
I would do that. Yeah. If I wasn't higher on drugs and partying, that was me. So, I mean, no lie. So that was me. But I loved reading books like that. And then now I read smut books.
I read smut books.
I read all the smut books. I love smut. The smuttier the better. And smut, for anybody who doesn't know what smut is basically a book about sex, or it's usually like I read a lot of fantasy. I read a lot of BDSM. I read a lot of kink, like CNC and all of these things, which we're actually going to go do a whole episode on kinks and all of that. More detailed than let's talk about sexuality episode. But I read a lot of that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
The smuttier and the crazier,
the better.
The better. Like if I open up the book and there's a whole list of triggers, I'm on it. For it. I want to read it. I'm about it. And I am the type of person that when I read, I cannot put the book down.
Yeah.
I will finish a 700, 800 page book in like 2 days. I read very fast, which isn't always a good thing because I don't always retain all the information. But I do. I read fast, but I read a lot of smut.
Yeah.
I still read the same historical fiction, true crime.
Yeah.
You know, I'm mixing spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
With some other stuff, but yeah, I read a lot of smut books now.
Okay.
It's my jam. What about you?
So younger, I used to read a lot of I read a lot of like poetry books, oddly enough, but I also read a lot of sci-fi. So like Isaac Asimov is still one of my favorites.
It's so wild that you read Isaac Asimov when you were younger.
As a kid.
Yeah.
Like one of the first books that I read of his was Nightfall.
No lie.
Love that book.
I didn't read that until I was an adult.
I think it's just such a cool concept. Honestly, I want to reread it now as an adult because it was so long ago that I read it. But I love that book. I just thought the concept was cool. I liked some of the dialogue in the story was wild. So I just thought it was really cool. And so I read a lot of sci-fi books.
Yeah.
I did read like historical things. Now I notice, I read the fanfics and stuff like that, which is something that I got into much later in life.
Yeah.
But recently, because of this lady here, I got into fantasy books, which was nothing I'd ever been interested in. Not that it was bad, it's just I didn't really know about it.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yes.
I am obsessed. I love fantasy now. I will say having the smut in the fantasy is cool, but I feel like the books that we've been reading as of late, I kind of don't need it.
Yeah, it's just good storyline.
Yeah, the story is really good, and I think because the fanfics that we read are so heavily wrapped around smut, some of them are just, the story is just crazy, but they do have some really wild ass smut in them.
Yeah.
That reading some of the fantasy books that we're reading, I'm like, this smut is
light,
but
it's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn.
I love a good slow burn.
But it's like I just skip over it because I'm like, because it's like he put it in and you're like, okay, and what happened?
No, it's not even that. It's like, okay, it's been like 36 chapters and they finally got to the secluded inn. No, they finally got to the secluded inn where they have to share a bedroom.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the type of shit that I like.
I want the first page to be like, and he pulled his dick out and she sucked it. I'd be like, yes, she did. Yeah. Like, I'd be like, yeah. Like, one of the fanfics we read started out like that. And I was like, yeah, this is about to be, we're in for a ride. Like, I'm ready.
I love that shit though.
But yeah, the fantasy books, I really do like them a lot. They've been very interesting, and it's probably something I would have never even been interested in when I was younger, just because I was just a big nerd.
I 10 out of 10 recommend. Like, Rebecca Yarros is really good. Sarah J. Maas is really good. You haven't read Rebecca Yarros's books yet, but I definitely want you to get into those. There's like quite a few just like there's actually a lot. And I think like people, like more and more people are writing more smutty books because I think just women are more into it. Because like I also grew up in the era of like Nora Roberts.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like Nora Roberts and like the little
what are those called?
the romance novels.
The romance novels.
Yes, the little romance novels. Grew up with that. Was never really into it. My mother read them all the time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild, like, now that I'm thinking about it. My mother was in her 30s when she was reading it, and now I'm in my 30s reading smut, and I'm wondering if just women get to a point where they just read these books. I'm like...
They're like, damn, let me see what these men do in make-believe.
Like... I'd rather live there sometimes.
Yeah, where's my Sky Daddy at?
Yeah. Like, I need a Shadow Daddy.
Shadow Daddy.
Shout out to the Shadow Daddies.
Seriously.
Okay? Sometimes I'd be really in love with some of these characters.
Girl.
I'm like, God damn, can you just be real? Can you just come scoop me up and take me off into like a magical land where, you know, you're gonna fuck me and feed me and like give
and let me be.
And I could just become like this, you know, queen or whatever.
Right. Literally. Have to choose between two men.
Oh,
like, oh no.
They both want me.
Right.
Oh, what am I going to do?
What am I going to do? Lord, that is the truth though, because it's like these stories they're so good.
They're so good. They're so good. It's crazy just how my taste has changed over time. Like the way I dress, what I read, what I eat, what I do. Like it's just wild how my taste has changed.
Even music, which is weird to say because I feel like I listen to the same music that I used to listen to, but I also like any new music that I'm introduced to is not what I would have. Something that most people don't know about me is I was a huge Yin Yang Twins fan.
Oh,
huge Yin Yang Twins fan. Like all of that whole time, I lived for it.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, I still like me a good Yin Yang Twins. I mean, they're not really putting like new stuff out, but you know what I mean. I love their music. Yeah. Now I'm more so on like a chill, like Cleo Soul and like
I love Cleo Soul.
Yeah, like a Snow Allegra and like you know like a more chill vibe. Kamau, I love his music. Great. Like
Black Odyssey's my jam. Yes. It's just crazy. I just like the growth that's to it because I feel like also, I don't know, I feel like also I just listen and vibe to with whatever I'm feeling at the time with like no shame. I'm like, I don't have to stick with one genre. Yeah. So some days I'm, you know, listening to, you know, Between the Bird and Me, and then I'm also turning around and listening to, I don't know, some Kirby or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. So recently my homeboy Marcel, shout out to Marcel.
Hello.
He put me on to a lot of like the like Paramore and but the songs are in Japanese.
Oh, that's right. You were showing me those.
Yeah. Fire.
Yes.
So fire. It's something Skater Kids. Something Skater some kids. Anyway, it's like all those, like that genre of music in Japanese.
Yes. You want to know what Japanese band I actually really like is Baby Metal. Love Baby Metal.
Yeah. Same homeboy. Yeah. He was like, I just found out about this genre called Baby Metal. And I was like, no, that's the group.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, is it? I'm like, yeah.
It's the group. Yeah. I actually heard them. I was in Seattle and we were eating at, oh my God, we were in Capitol Hill. I think it's called Capitol Hill. Anyways, we were eating at this ramen spot. And, oh my God, it was so good. The ramen that's in Seattle, amazing. But anyways, so we were eating at this ramen spot and Baby Metal was playing in the background and I was like, it was the chocolate song, chocolate or whatever. And I was like, who is this? And I was like, this is brilliant.
First of all, I love experiences like that when you're out at a store or a restaurant and you hear music playing in the background. And it's so funny how you can be like present with somebody but still be listening in the background and it'll just completely I remember I was shopping with my homegirl and something was playing in the background. The song Karina by something Shaw. I forgot who it's by. It was playing while we were walking around. We were talking about something and we both stopped and looked at each other and we're like, what is that? Yeah. But I like when that happens because you find new music like organically.
I love finding new music.
It's so cool. But like I love that. But it's funny about Baby Metal and just like the whole the Japanese album that I was telling you about. Because when I was a kid, I loved Dance Dance Revolution. I was a big DDR kid.
You really?
I was a big DDR. I had the DDR mat at the crib, girl. I used to be in there.
Not not the shuffle.
Yes, girl. I used to be in that thing. And I think about all the songs that were on there, and I loved every song. And I'm sad that it took me so long to get back to that type of music, because that's what most of that music is.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny that I didn't even think about, like,
yeah,
maybe I should listen to this more often, because I was on like that, well, I gotta listen to this because that's what everybody else is listening to, and that's what,
exactly,
because people thought it was so weird that I liked some of the things that I liked, and they'd be like, you can't listen to that, and I'd be like, fuck you, I'm listening to it.
Me.
Yeah.
But then I would also cave, and I'd be like, yeah, you're right, but then on the
low I'd be in their house just listening to like Fleetwood Mac.
Yes, right? Oh God, I love Stevie Nicks so much. I love Stevie Nicks so much. Oh, so good. It's crazy how my fucking taste in everything is just changed.
It's just different. I don't know. It's interesting, and I really I'm curious as to like why that happens, because it happens within everybody. I feel. Yeah,
I think so too. Well, I don't know. I know some people who are like super picky about everything that they do and what they eat and what they watch and what they, it's just crazy. But I'm also like I don't know. I think I've just become more adventurous and open. Yeah, and I think it's just more of like, I don't know,
just
people,
experiencing
new shit and wanting to hear new things, and instead of just being closed off to like one thing, it's like, no, I want to try everything. I want to try all the new foods. I want to try all the new music. I want to do all the new things. Yeah.
I think about I have a friend that was like, I can't watch certain things anymore, and I was like, oh, why? She's just like, it just affects my body differently than it used to. And I was like, that's so interesting.
It's true.
Which it is true. Like, there's certain things that I used to watch that I'm like, fuck that. Yeah. I will not be a part. But if you put on some true crime,
hell yes. Any documentary, honestly.
Any documentary.
Love me a docuseries. We'll binge it. Especially about cults.
Wait. I watched this one documentary that was on Hulu. It was called, God, what was it called? I don't remember what it's called, but pretty much it was about these guys. Sorry, I need to talk about this. There was this guy that was in college. He had a sister. Mm-hmm. And he had his mom and dad, and it was him and his sister. Mm-hmm. And he's in college. They're on like summer break or whatever. And another guy comes into town and is at that same college, and he looks identical to the guy that was there.
No lie.
So the guy, the original guy, we'll call him Tom. Tom's friend was like, hey man, welcome back to school, so glad to see you, blah blah. And homeboy Brad was like, I don't know who you are, but my name is Brad. And he's like, oh, you look just like my homeboy Tom. And he's like, that's crazy. Yeah. So he takes him to his homeboy. Come to find out they're twins. So they find out that they're twins, and there's like this big thing. It's like national news. This is like in the 70s or something like that. This has actually happened. 70s. So they get on these TV shows, and it's like a big thing, national news. There's another family that's at home, and they're like, hey, they look just like me. What's up? Homeboy also has a mom, a dad, and a sister.
No lie.
The guy that found out that was his twin brother also has a mom, a dad, and a sister. So he calls and he's like, hey y'all, I'm your triplet brother. So now they're all touring around together. Come to find out, this facility from the adoption agency that they were from separated them all as a case study.
As a case study?
They were doing case studies on kids who came from, I think the parents had like mental health, like the mom had mental health issues. So her kids were taken and they split them up, and they were studying them to see what was happening, like how they would grow up. And they put them each in the same exact situation. So they each had a sister and a mom and dad. Each of them had a sister and mom and dad. And the researchers would go from house to house to go check on them to see how they were doing. So they would go from one house, see the family there, and go to another one knowing that they were going to see their brother that this family knew nothing about. They did that with many families.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. I wish I could remember the name of that docuseries. If I find it, I will definitely like add it in the video. But it was wild. They did it to a bunch of families to see how they grew up and what they were dealing with. Come to find out, one of the triplets ended up ending his life, and they found that was happening with a lot of the families that had the same situation happen to them, because they were struggling with the fact that they were ripped apart from these people that they were around for a period and all of a sudden snatched from, and they didn't feel complete, and they were having it was crazy.
That's wild.
They were trying to get like documents, and they were trying to do stuff legally, because they were like, this has to be illegal in some way.
Oh, absolutely.
And what was so messed up about it was they had the guys who the ladies and the men that were the researchers, and they're talking about it like, I would go see his brother that he knew nothing about. It was just something that we did. And I'm just like, that is so fucked up to do to people. These are people.
Human case studies are just wild in general.
And these are children that they did this to.
Human case studies are wild in general, that people don't know about. They didn't sign up for it. Their whole life has just been fucking...
And the family didn't know either. So they had no idea that they even had a triplet.
That's crazy.
Or a twin. Or anything like that. And they just happened to stumble upon them because they were at the same place around the same time.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
That's wild. I want to watch that so bad. Please find out what the name of it is.
Oh my gosh. It was so good. I watched it. I was just like...
That's fucking wild.
It was insane. I felt so bad for them. But yeah, the craziest part about the whole thing is that the families didn't even know.
That's wild.
So they were adopting these kids thinking that they're single kids, and and this happened, like I said, to multiple sets of families, and they set them up all the same exact way.
That's fucking crazy.
And it's like they found out that all of them suffered from severe depression. Yeah. And it's like, how'd you just let these kids be? Yeah. Like, I just don't understand why they would do those types of things to children, but just people in general, because this wasn't just the kids that it messed with. This was their families as well, because they were all unknowing.
That's crazy.
But it's called 3 Identical Strangers.
Okay.
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Crazy docuseries.
Yeah.
Crazy docuseries. There's another one, and then I'm gonna get off it. There's this one called Abducted in Plain Sight. Did you see that?
Saw that.
How did you feel about that?
That was wild. Well, hang on a second. Remind me which one that is.
Abducted in Plain Sight is the one that her family and her, like a friend that moved into town, their family were real cool, and the guy of the other family was like hanging out with the young girl.
I saw that.
The fact that homegirl got taken 3 times. But
yes, I saw
all the stuff that was going on.
Yes, I saw that. And the thing is like back then, because it was like in the 50s or the 60s, right?
Something like that. I think it might have been the 70s or 80s.
I mean, it was definitely like at least well over 30, 40 years ago.
Oh yeah, because homegirl's still like alive and stuff like that.
This was back in like when people really didn't, when everybody was very polite. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And especially them, because that was a family that was like real churchy, and it was a small community, and they're like, our kids can play with your kids, and we can do this, and you can take our daughter out.
Stranger danger was not a thing.
Yeah.
Stranger danger was not a thing. Yeah. Go ahead and go hang out with the Candyman. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was wild. That's wild.
That was sad.
I love docuseries like that, though.
I do too.
I think it's crazy that actually happens to people.
Yeah. Just watching it and seeing like how they're talking about it later on, how they felt about it, and it's just crazy. But those cult ones
get me every time. I love them.
I do too. Twin Flame is nuts.
Twin Flame. First of all,
did you watch both? Wait, did you watch both of them?
No. I only watched the one that you and I watched together. I didn't watch the other one. But first of all, how are you gonna have a 5'6" man who weighs maybe like, I don't know, fucking $115 tell you what the fuck to do with your life? Like, I get it. Like, people get sucked into cults. But if that man came to me and was like, oh, this is going to be your partner for the rest of your life, I'd be like, who are you?
And call themselves Jesus?
And call themselves...
Sir, go sit down.
The moment... I'm sorry. If I believed all of your other bullshit up until that point, that's the point where I'd be like, hold on a second.
Hard no.
Hold on a second.
You want to tell me that your ass...
Jesus? No. And they're still running. Still operating.
I know, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. So the other series is on Hulu. Mm-hmm. I think was the first series on Netflix?
I think so, yeah, because that's the one we watched.
Yeah, there's another one that's on Hulu, and it goes deeper into more stuff. And that one goes into them setting people up that were now same genders. Yeah. And it goes into it a lot.
That's what, like, that whole fucking docuseries is wild to me.
Crazy.
That whole cult is wild to me. And the NXIVM?
The NXIVM cult? You put me onto the NXIVM. That one was nuts.
Listen, we like to learn about cults. I just like learning about the psychological aspect of the whole thing.
That's what's interesting to me.
I like learning about, like, what made this person do this? Like, what's the thought process behind it? Like, and what's the thought process behind it of the people who are following? Because, like, a lot of people who get into cults, a lot of people who end up getting into cults, they're actually very educated. They're very educated people. So when I first got into cults, I was like, maybe it's just because they're like not educated or something. No, a lot of them are educated
and high up in certain positions in their life. You're like, damn, how did you get roped in?
Like Jim Jones?
What's the one that had
the aliens? The one?
No, Rajneesh, was it Rajneesh or
yes?
They had a lady.
Yeah,
she was like a doctor or some shit.
She was a whole doctor.
Yeah,
that was the one with the Rolls Royce shit.
Yes,
it was like the wild country or some shit like that.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
Where they were in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, and they had their own little area, which honestly respect, because they had their own little community. They were doing their own shit. They had like their own little government, and they was like, absolutely the fuck not. In America, y'all not about to do that bullshit.
They did that here.
No, I know.
Yeah,
but they was like, y'all can't keep this going, and that's why they had all the shit. They was trying to run for their own like offices and shit.
Yeah, they were trying to have like their own government. So, sorry, not to get off sidetrack, but I'm not opposed. I don't know if other girlies, because I feel like several of my friends, women, men, all over the place, I am not opposed to buying land and living in a community of people who grow food and do their own thing. I'm not opposed to that. The thing is you get usually white men, sorry, I'm gonna say it, usually white cis men who hop up these little 5'6" white cis men, white cis men who get up on their little fucking soapbox and they're like, this looks like a great time for me to share what I think should be changed.
Right.
And what I think y'all should do. And cut the fuck off.
Yeah.
Cut it the fuck off. You know what you don't see, really? And you only see some, and you don't see a lot, but you don't see female cult leaders like that. There's a few. There's a couple that I know about. But you don't really see female cult leaders like that. Just like you don't see a lot of female murderers, like serial killers and stuff like that. You just don't see it. So I think us women, okay, anybody down? Let's go ahead and have a little commune. I want to grow my own food. I want to have my own animals. I want to have a whole farm, and like let's just all kick it together.
Like just live in peace.
I do, and it's funny because I hear more and more people talk about that, and I actually know people who've gone out and have done that. It's been like a family of 3. They live out in somewhere, I think maybe Eustis or Umatilla or something like that here in Florida, and they just grow their own food, and their kids play together, and everybody's homeschooled, and like, which I don't care either way, whatever, but
might be better education, honestly.
Girl,
Florida's
public schools. Anyways,
I just gotta say this real quick. I thought Las Vegas had some horrible education. Florida is wild.
Florida's fucking education
From what I've heard, I obviously haven't gone to school here, but I have heard that the education system is fucked out here.
And the school to prison pipeline here is fucking crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
Crazy.
I am sure.
Crazy. But yeah, no, a lot of people are talking about doing that, and I'm like, yes. Like, people just want to get away from the craziness that is capitalism. I'm just gonna say
that's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth. I mean, that's why I was like, when they had their whole little compound, I was like, I'm not mad at that.
Y'all,
it was the other shit though that I was like, all right, y'all are tripping.
It was the other shit, and of course
they would have got me though if they was like, we're gonna live on our own, we're gonna live off the land, we're gonna do this. I'd have been like, cool. They was like, but we also gonna do this. I'd be like, well,
but we also gonna go ahead and have these orgies.
Yeah, like hold on.
And which also I'm not
completely opposed.
But now you're telling me I have to marry somebody.
Yeah, like what else are we doing?
You ain't gonna tell me what to do. First of all, I'm a brat. You are not going to tell me what the fuck to do. I will fight you on it tooth and nail. Okay? Tooth and nail. For the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part. What did you and John say the other day? That when I get on the phone, I immediately turn sub?
You do. You were like, yeah, because da-da-da-da-da. Hello. Hi, baby. I was like, who is this?
Hi.
It was so funny.
Oh, my God.
I do.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just wild. How the fuck did we get to that, man? We really
I don't know.
Be all over the place.
I started talking about docuseries, and then we started talking about cults,
and then communes.
Yeah,
and now here we are.
Yep, back again.
If
you've held through with us, kudos to you.
We appreciate y'all. It's been a ride. We really just wanted to chat. You know what's crazy though is the whole point the whole reason why we did this podcast in the first place is so that y'all could be a part of Dee's and I conversation. That was the whole point. Because we're like, maybe some people will follow us, maybe they won't, maybe they'll understand, maybe they'll get a little chuckle here and there. But this is literally how we talk to each other. And Dee and I will sit on this couch for 3 to 4 hours just talking about shit, and next thing you know, we're talking about the cosmos. So it's
girl, do you remember? Anyway.
Let's not jump to that. But I mean, it's just wild.
Yeah, it is wild. And I mean, you're right, because that's exactly, we just be chit-chatting.
We just be chit-chatting.
I think the good thing too is that I feel like we've both lived pretty significant life experiences and gone through a lot, and so just to share that with other people, because other people may be either going through the same thing, about to go through the same thing,
100%,
you know, so it's just nice to share and know that like you're not alone.
And this podcast, if y'all start hearing us talking about cults or whatever, and you don't want to hear it, please fast forward, because we're probably going to start talking about sucking dick or something, you know, later down the road, or we'll probably start talking about, you know, whatever the fuck else pops up in our head. So it is what it is, which actually a segment popped up in my head if you want to talk about it. Sure. What is the best date you've ever been on?
What's a date? What's a date?
What do you mean?
Like the fruit?
No. oh, that's right. I'm sorry, you haven't been on a date in a while. So I
don't know what a date is. What is a date? What is it? Is it an experience shared between two people?
The shade. I'm here for it. I'm reveling in it.
Enjoy each other's time.
Spending quality time together.
Spending quality time and doing things.
I don't know what that is.
What is that?
I don't know what that is.
No, the best date. This is gonna sound super cheesy.
I love cheesy.
But it was very cute, even though the situation was trash.
Yeah.
And honestly, I had forgot about it until me and my homegirl were talking about it the other day, and she was like, "What happened to her?" She's like, she said something. She said his name, and I was like, "Who is that?" Mm-hmm. And she's like, "You whole dated him," and I was like, "I did, didn't I?" That's crazy. I was going through it.
Okay.
Anyway, he made food, like he cooked like a really nice meal, and he like had this cute little place set outside for us to eat on the patio or whatever, and we just had like wine and like food. It was super cute. There was like courses and shit. It was super, not like major courses because we could only eat what we could eat. We was not eating on paper plates, but it was still a very cute and thoughtful thing, and actually like it brought me to tears because like it was just the effort for me that I was just like, that is really sweet.
Effort's huge.
Yeah, it was just really sweet that he had like cooked all this food and like had a cute little setting, had little decorations and shit. Like it was really cute. We were just outside on the patio.
I love that.
It was super cute. It was just, I think it was because it was thoughtful. Like we didn't have to do anything extravagant. Hated him, but the date was cute. I didn't hate him, but it was just like the situation was a little fucked.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. I love that. It is the effort for me.
Yeah, it was just cute.
It doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Yeah.
I don't need a flight to anywhere. I don't need anything spectacular. If it's thoughtful, that's all that matters to me. If you put thought into it and it's something that you really wanted, you know, to give me, or you really wanted to do for me, that makes me happy. You don't have to go nowhere or do anything crazy. My best date that I had ever gone on was they took me to go see Christmas lights. I love Christmas lights.
Okay.
Love Christmas lights. So they took me all around. Like Winter Park has a lot of Christmas lights and it's really beautiful. Mm-hmm. And we drove around. We just drove around and I looked at, because I like to look at the houses too. We drove around and we looked at the Christmas lights and we did that for like probably like a good 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We stopped. We got Steak and Shake. Back when Steak and Shake was good. And we got Steak and Shake and then we went down to Park Ave in Winter Park, and at the time they had like this big, it's not a theater, but it was like this little it was a pretty big pavilion where they usually do like music and stuff like that. Okay. And we sat there and we just ate Steak and Shake and we talked and we just had a good time.
That's cute.
And it was really sweet because they remembered that I loved Christmas lights.
That is really sweet.
It was really sweet.
Yeah, that is really sweet.
Yeah. So little stuff like that, like it's the thoughtfulness that makes me really happy.
I did have one that I wanted to mention, and it was just cute because of just the whole setup of it. Mm-hmm. I don't remember everything about it, but I just remember the bigger part of it. We were out to eat. We went to dinner. We were still in our little talking phase or whatever, and he slides me over a note. So you remember when you were in like middle school?
Yes.
And it's like, do you like me? Yes or no? You know that?
Stop.
So the letter had, do you like me? Yes or no? And then it was like, do you want to be my girlfriend? Yes or no? And I just thought it was, first of all, I started laughing because I was like, I am a grown ass woman answering this, because he was like, well, we'll check the box.
Yeah,
like,
well, you
what?
pulled a pen out of your purse because you a grown woman, so you.
I did. I was like, I got this.
Don't worry about it.
I did, so, but I just thought it was so cute because I was like, I haven't like that. It was just such a nostalgic thing, but it was just so cute and
adorable.
Like it was really cute. And I was just, I thought it was, I don't know, that was really, the date was nice. Like we were eating. Anytime I'm eating, I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
But it was just the fact that he like wrote it down, and I just thought like that was precious.
So sweet.
Yeah,
that is absolutely adorable.
Yeah, it fit his personality, and I felt like in a sense it fit mine as well. So it was just a thought.
I like adorable things like that.
Yeah,
I had an ex
cute.
that would also sorry, thinking of the note.
Yeah,
I had an ex that would also she would leave me post-it notes.
That's cute.
She would just leave me post-it notes like, you know, I love you, have a really great day, or, you know, I'm sorry you had a nightmare because I have nightmares all the time, and I'm sorry, you know, little stuff like that. Like, it's just very cute. Here's some lunch. Yes, it's the thoughtfulness. Be thoughtful. I love that. I try to do that with my gifts and stuff. Like, I prefer to make something instead of buying it.
Yeah.
I'm not a good artiste, but I do my best. I do my best.
Don't
be mentioning the fucking mountains, because I knew in your head you were like, that mountains, bitch. That mountains look so good.
The mountains.
But yeah, it's a thoughtfulness. But anyways.
Yeah. All right. Well, y'all don't know this, but we've been having a time with recording. I just want this to be known that we have stopped and started like 6 times.
So if our voices start to get what did the guy say your voice sounded like? Like you was just done?
Like I was over it. I was tired.
Over it. Like she was tired. If our voices just sound like we're tired towards the end of it, it's because we've been going at this shit for probably about 3 hours.
Yeah, and it keeps starting and stopping.
It keeps starting and stop. We just get, but this is podcasting.
Yeah.
This is just what we do. The audio is going to sound fucking great.
Phenomenal audio.
But now we have video issues, and it's all good. We're figuring it out.
We'll figure it out.
We're doing what we can.
We're doing what we can. Well, I sounded like I was about to cry. Because I know I gotta edit it. I'm just like, fuck. We're doing what we can, and we're gonna make it work out, and all that great stuff. I just wanted to say you can always follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
TikTok. You can email us. You can DM us.
You can comment on YouTube.
All of that good stuff.
Yeah.
Interact on Spotify.
Yes.
Send us voice notes. If you guys have Spotify, send us a little voice notes. There's actually a little like voice note tab that you can select.
Yeah.
And like put your thoughts in there and just let us know what you think.
Yeah, we would love to hear about like your dates, like whatever good dates you've been on, or where you're at, like what male friendships have affected you or female friendships that affected you, you know, little shit like that. Or what fucking, you know what? Tell us whatever docuseries you're watching, because clearly we love it and we need more suggestions. Yes. Please.
Before we go, I just want to say Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. Woo! Show them your nails. Yes. Shamira.
Love you, bitch. Love you. Also, I just want to say I took half of my hair down, but last week y'all saw my hair was up. I just want to shout out my girl Shira.
Yeah.
She do hair. She's Art by Design Hair Gallery. The best with locks.
It was beautiful, and it lasted a long time.
And she does braids, so just shout out to her.
Shout out.
But yeah.
We also want to say that our next episode coming out on the 13th. Yes, on the 13th, we have a guest speaker that's going to be on there. She is the shit. Absolutely super excited for her to talk about her very wild career change and love what she does, and you know, just kind of some more personal stories about her. Our girl Nina is going to be on here, so we're super excited. Definitely stay tuned, and we love you guys.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.